What's happening? Baby Mike is actually working this time around because last week it was absolutely terrible.
I know, right? We didn't figure that out until at the end.
Yeah. So hopefully, again, don't be a stranger. Go on the chats, talk it up,
let us know.
Sharing, caring again. Thank you all for the viewers, the sharing. It's been lovely. I love it. We're just growing. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Now we're on TikTok, so we're getting hit now.
I've been doing some little TikTok.
You can't go live yet on that. I guess you have to hit a certain amount.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna.
We will get there eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah, eventually. But we're on that. So follow us. That's check on the ticker. Everything's on the ticker from all our tags. So again, I'm shouting out a lot of people today, a lot of companies who are making a lot of moves. Surprisingly, this week. We thought it was going to be kind of a light week. But it's been good.
It's actually been pretty good. A pretty good week.
So here we're going to start with, as we can see here, what we got. And will this show? I hope it will. Let's see here. I don't know if it will. Oh, there you go. So it is the Nintendo Fuji partnership. That's something that's very, very unique that we didn't really...
Yeah, I know. It
hear about.
Yeah, it kind of really came out of nowhere. I love it personally because I don't know if you remember this. Back in 1998, when the first Pokemon Snap came out.
Pokemon Snap, no, but I remember there was the eye camera for the Game Boy.
Well,
that counts.
That's one the thing. But I was gonna say because. Remember that Blockbuster, they had a little kiosk thing for Pokemon Snap that you could put your memory card in and you could print out. Remember those like old photos from the photo kiosk back in the day? Photo booths, remember that?
Photo booths?
Remember those photo booths where you could print out pictures and stuff like that?
Yeah. I remember
they did that, Blockbuster did that with Pokemon Snap. I don't know if you remember that from the 90s. I remember that clearly. I remember that. So that's what the first thing that popped over my mind when I was like, oh, they're doing kind of like a modern version of it, which is actually pretty cool.
So explain what the device is, as you can see on the top left.
Yeah. So pretty much what it is it's kind of like a miniature version of like a printer where you could print out little like screenshots and pictures from the little things. So it's like having a little kind of photo type of thing. You put it like in like portfolios, like little like scrapbooks, cute little things like that.
So a portable camera for the Switch. But see,
it's not really a camera because you're not taking pictures with it.
So it's a printer.
Basically what it is you take pictures with your Switch, not like actual pictures, like snapshots.
Yeah. Screenshots.
Screenshots, yes, exactly. And then you can print out those screenshots into that little printer. And it'll print out to have physical things. People love having like little physical things because they could like decorate.
I like the device. I like that one because that one's pretty cool. But the thing is, it can be used on different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
So by platforms, we don't mean just like PlayStation 5 and Xbox. No, your phones. Your phones can have an access to a printer.
Yep.
But it only prints out screenshots.
Exactly.
So who knows? Maybe they can find out they can live stream from. No. I'm thinking it's a camera.
It's a
printer.
It's literally a printer.
So a portable printer exclusively to the Switch platform.
Mm-hmm. And
they're going to have Snap coming out on April 30th, correct?
It's not just for Pokemon Snap, but it's for like Switch Snap because now they're going to use it for Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah.
They can use it for the Pokemon Snap.
But it releases on April 30th.
Oh, it releases on Pokemon Snap Day, so obviously they're doing it because of the Pokemon Snap. But you can use it for other things too, because I looked it up. You can use it for Animal Crossing. You can use it for pretty much any of the Switch games they can take pictures of and have little photos of. It's really cute. Like, I love it. Like, I personally love how it looks like. The one for the Switch has the Switch colors, so the red and the blue.
Okay.
And then, a month later in May, they're releasing a Pikachu version.
So
it has like a little Pikachu
gotta go up with that one.
So the price on the regular one is going to be about $90.
$90 for what?
For the
game?
no, $100. $100 for the device, just for the device.
How much?
$100. It prints out. It's like a printer.
Okay. I'm looking for specs. $100?
It's $100, and it's $120 for the Pikachu version.
Okay, I get the Pikachu version.
It's a limited edition, of course.
About $100.
Yeah, it's $100. It's like you're able to. There's an app that has where you're able to crop it, design it, do what you want to do with it. Kind of think of it kind of like filters and like things like nowadays with like Snapchat or TikTok or like Instagram, things like that.
They're gonna use it.
That's the reason why I know it's going to be popular.
Oh, those that are thinking, those that are wondering, it's called Instant Printer. That's what the device is called. Fujifilm and Nintendo team up on a Switch-themed Instant Printer. Yes, you are correct. The actual, actually, can I do this live? That'd be cool, guys. I could do it live, I think.
Yeah, but it's an actually like little printer. It's a really cute idea that I love.
Picture right now for you to see the. I hope I can. I don't know. Maybe I can. But so you guys can get an idea of what it is all about. So let me do that real quick. It's like breaking news.
I just love I like little collaborations like this because it creates like partnerships, which could create like bigger things. Because if it does well, like it sells well and people get it, they want to do more partnerships, which will create like more collaborations. Which I personally like when companies do collaborations.
There you go. So here's the image for those that are checking it out. Right now, it is that, which is the theme I'm looking at. Instack. INSTAX. Instack Mini Link.
Yeah, Instack Mini Link. Yep.
And if you can see for that price for $120 for Pikachu one, I respect it. I respect it. For $9, I want to know what the actual specs are.
Yeah, I don't think they.
I want to see it written. I don't want to see the video right now.
Yeah, because I don't think they explain like the exact specs on it.
Yeah.
But I think it's like a little cute little idea. I honestly do.
Whenever you want to print a screenshot, just select it from the Switch album and choose Send to Smartphone to generate a QR code that you can scan with the new app. You can edit the image within the app and combine it with the frames available for Link's frame print function. Oh, they added 59 new frame options to choose from with designs that feature Super Mario, Animal Crossing, and new Pokémon Snap characters.
Exactly.
I just want to see the breakdown of the actual.
Because remember the Pokemon, the Game Boy camera from back in the day, and the Game Boy printer. Remember that? It was around that price too, around like $90. I remember that being expensive too.
Yeah, I guess.
And this is like a more updated version of it. Because remember, that thing was like a little printing little. Remember, there was like little receipt paper. It was receipt paper.
And that was so innovative back then.
Well, it came out in the 90s. We loved it.
But it like never like caught on per se. But it was still cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Only a few things.
My dad didn't get it. He was like, "What the hell?"
He just bought it for us because he knows we wanted it. He was like, "What the hell is this?"
So again, for those that are checking it out, again, it is a Switch-themed Fujifilm partnership with Nintendo. That is a device that's going to be a regular one for $90, and then the Pikachu theme, which you see right there,
$120.
Does it look cool? Hold on.
$119.
Right there, and that's for $90.
$120, which is $119.99.
Okay, all right. So, but it looks cool.
Yeah,
It looks cool.
like I said, I love the way it looks. Personally.
And that's surprising because it didn't catch everybody off guard. So it caught everybody off guard because they didn't think they were going to have a role to go about getting a printer for a video game, but it is Pokemon Snap. But I actually just checked out the gameplay, the trailer, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Oh, the Pokemon Snap gameplay! I can't wait. Oh my god, it comes out next week.
Geeky over there was like, I want that guy. I'm like, do you know how many pictures he's gonna take and want to print? Even one that made absolutely no sense.
I see it's in my face. It'll be all full of pictures.
I kind of want him to have it only because I want him to have the experience of what we had. I didn't really mess with Pokemon stuff like that.
I love, like me personally, I just freaking loved it.
Yeah.
I love playing that game. It was one of my favorite Nintendo 64 games.
Yeah, it was
fun. It was cute. And I love that they got up there. I'm definitely getting a day one. That's a day one purchase for me. 100%.
Most definitely. All right, so we're going. So that is a respectable let me cut this. Sometimes these images, let me tell you something, these images become grotesque when I put them on. Like these big as hell.
Take your whole head.
I'm a whole slot producer, so I gotta go back and forth and see what I can do. All right, what else? I know you got the notepad. You broke out the notepad, but I got the images. So
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm ready for everything.
you know what? Disney Plus. Let's do Disney Plus. Let's hop off to
Oh,
Disney
yeah.
and the partnership with Sony and their agreement that they had to reach. For those, okay, and we're gonna break this down because some people don't understand this. See Marvel and Spider-Man. So we want to break it down enough so those that in the know they understand. But for those that are new and they're checking it out, they're getting hip to the news. Disney has to reach an agreement with Sony to even have Spider-Man included to the Disney Plus. And now you're gonna say, but wait, Disney owns Marvel. They own Marvel. Why do they need a license for that? The reason why they need it is because Spider-Man has always been a Sony product.
Always.
Weird. So it's like they always had the rights to Spider-Man as far as
a movie.
As a
That's
movie.
what I'm saying.
Even like cartoons and all that, they have the rights because they need to borrow the Spider-Man image with Sony. So back in the day, from I don't know, you know more of the movies than I do for the years.
But the first Spider-Man movie came out in 2002, if I remember correctly.
So 2002.
And then it was 2004, then 2000.
And Sony was rocking with that. And
They were selling well.
And obviously, PlayStation 3 came out with the Spider-Man game, which is great. It was great at its time, and that was obviously by Sony. So they had the rights. So years go by and all that jazz. Disney's becoming a conglomerate. They just eating up
companies.
So Star Wars is one of the big ones.
Don't forget Fox. They bought Fox too.
Fox too, and they excluded some Fox with I don't know.
Certain ones, like the news and stuff.
Yeah, like ESPN and stuff. Yeah, but they kind of
They own ESPN.
Yeah, they put it through Hulu, but they had to break it down with Fox, which included that, but it was subsidized. It was weird. So they've been chewing it up. So when Disney was announcing Disney Plus, obviously it put Netflix in got nervous with Netflix. Hulu's obviously.
Come on, Disney with all of its legendary titles that they have, all the TV shows, all the movies.
And now they got Marvel, so a lot of people didn't realize
And Star Wars.
Marvel and Star Wars, so the two major bigwigs that Disney has them under the belt. So Disney tried to buy, remember that, I don't know, they tried to buy the rights to Spider-Man from Sony. They tried to buy Spider-Man from Sony because that's the only Marvel character, including Venom, that is not under the Disney brand. Even though they own Marvel, they don't own the Spider-Man. It's only because they had the rights to Spider-Man and that was transferred with Sony because at that time they were popular with Sony. But now things shifted and Sony's been doing things with the movies, but not as popular with Disney Plus and the streaming and their whole entire what is it, like fan base. You know?
Yeah, the fan base, exactly.
So Marvel is not complete without Spider-Man, right?
No.
They're not complete with Spider-Man because now with the new shouts out to Tom Holland, he's doing this thing and revived Spider-Man to the point that it's got all the youngins and those that grew up with the other Spider-Man being like, this is authentic Spider-Man.
Honestly, Tom Holland is such a good Spider-Man. He's honestly one of my favorite Spider-Man.
He overtook the other.
He did the character so well.
Yep, absolutely.
He kept the humor. He kept the serious. Of course, he looks younger. He's also Tom Holland himself actually a gymnast and actually does his own stunts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it fits perfectly for him.
So he does his thing. And very respectful, and he has the actual personality for it. So, but Sony has that right. So the reason why we bring this up is because you can Google it, you can find it out. We just try to break it down to you is what we do as brothers of podcasts. But the reason why is Netflix just coined, which I think we talked about last episode.
Yeah, we were talking about like Netflix need to do something or something like that. Netflix. We told last week that Netflix going to deal with Sony that they're going to release all Sony pictures.
And I found out that the deal is starting 2022 after the theater release. I was going to go with the proper.
It's going to go.
It's going to go to I think 9 months after. No, Netflix is, as soon as it's done with the theaters, it's going to be released on Netflix, and that's it. Whereas the partnership with now Disney
Plus
said, all right, look. We try to buy y'all out. We couldn't buy y'all because they know Spider-Man makes cake.
Sony is not stupid.
So they're not stupid. We all as fans melted down because they're like, Sony's. Remember that whole debacle on Twitter? They're like, oh no, Sony's being stingy because they're trying to.
I remember that. It was huge. I mean, I don't understand where Sony's coming from. They're not stupid. They know what Spider-Man makes the money. They know that.
So and now with the Netflix partnership with Sony. I bet you this smart. I bet you did this shit on purpose. Why would Sony do a partnership with Disney Plus first? Disney would have given them such a low ball because they already have Marvel.
So that's when they did Netflix first.
Yeah, so then now they got the Disney Plus has to go, oh, really? All right,
okay, let's
here's
work
big
some.
bucks. Here, look, how much you want? How much you want?
You need to have this on our thing too.
Yep, even though they have Marvel. Spider-Man
because they want Spider-Man because Spider-Man is part of that Marvel.
Yep,
Marvel's
is nothing.
Don't say nothing.
I won't say nothing.
Don't say nothing.
It's hard to hit.
Yeah. We'll say that.
Without Spider-Man.
Exactly.
So now they met a deal. I don't know the actual numbers as far as the buyout. They met they reached an agreement, and that agreement is starting 2022. Disney, after 9 months after its theater release, they get to put out Marvel characters licensed by Sony. So that includes Spider-Man and Venom.
Which is
and there's another one off the top of my head that I don't.
Well, it's not X-Men anymore because Disney owns X-Men now.
Yeah.
It's not Fantastic Four because Disney owns that too.
Yeah, Disney literally owns everything besides Spider-Man and Venom.
That's literally
Marvel.
It's pretty much Spider-Man, like anything in the Spider-Man universe, because Venom is part of the Spider-Man universe.
Yep.
Disney does not own, pretty much.
Yeah. It's
the Spider-Man.
You gotta remember too, Into the Spideyverse on Netflix was very, very popular.
Oh, the one that's, that was so good.
Very popular, yep. And then obviously combining that with the PlayStation 5 with the launch of Miles Morales on PS5. It's Sony. That's all Sony.
It is.
So you gotta understand, you're not seeing it on Xbox. It's all Sony, and they know they're not stupid because they had Spider-Man games on Sony platforms way before all of this debacle happened. So imagine Disney bought them, they would have lost the Spider-Man to Sony relationship right off the bat, off games alone, not even movies.
Exactly.
So it's funny to see a big company like Disney. Like Disney, to be like, how much you need? How much you need? Hold on, let me see if you guys can see my hand. How much? I need Spider-Man.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. They had to figure it out.
It's a smart way. Sony is smart. Sony is smart doing that.
Sony's smart.
Because they want money from it.
When I sit there being PlayStation 5, fanboys, whatnot, but when it comes to business and you have a gold mine,
they know what they're doing.
If you don't know, they played smart. They were smart. They were smart with what they needed to do. So that is, again, 2022. 9 months.
9 months
after the theater release. And the theater release now, due to COVID, includes release on the actual streaming platform. It's in that agreement. So pretty much, and the release is on the, let's say they ditched the theoretical whatever release and it went to Netflix. 9 months starting from that Netflix release.
Which makes sense because it's like
then Disney can rock it.
Yeah, exactly.
Question is though, will they rock it with doing the premiere access? Have everybody watched it on Netflix?
No, they won't because it's already everyone watching on Netflix. They're not going to do that. They won't do that. Because they'll be stupid if they did that.
What if they added some extra during the meats and potatoes of the agreement? They could add a director's cut or an extended cut or an extra film, and then Sony gets more cut from that $30 extra premiere access.
I highly doubt they'll do that because I think by the time this movie comes out and all that, the world will be mostly back to normal. So there's no reason for them to do the $30 access anymore.
I feel that $30 access will be there.
Definitely. I personally think.
I thought they were only doing
Worst
that
case,
I thought it was
They'll
the whole
reduce
COVID.
it.
I thought it was because of the whole COVID.
No, because if you don't want to go, because think about it. $30 is cheaper than going out to the movies.
Well, if you have a family, if you live by yourself, that's not as cheap. But if you have a family, then yeah.
Dude, that annoys me, by the way. Let's talk. I'm a rant. This is what we do. I got annoyed, and the wife can attest to this. And I'm not against lone wolf movie watchers, but this man sat right next to me. There's so many spaces by himself. You know how loud his popcorn smacking was, bro? That was not. I mean, it was cool. It is, you know, I dealt with it, but come on.
I personally can't watch movies.
There was like 4 seats. Homeboy sat next to me. This is obviously before COVID. And next to me. And he got me like kids. Bro, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And he's just like, you know, what's those videos that they go?
Oh, ASMR.
ASMR. I heard that the whole time. I'm watching the movie.
You wanted to choke him?
Oh. I'm like, bro, if you choking your popcorn, I won't save you. I'll push him. That helps. But yeah. So no, I personally feel that premium access will be permanent. But slightly reduced if COVID goes back to normal. Because again, if you think about it, yes, it is. If you're a single person going there, cool. But most of the time, a Disney profile movie will be family based.
That's
So
usually
we're
how it
talking
works.
5 or 6.
And $30.
Family members.
$30. It's either just sit down on your couch, watch it, boom. It's like less than like $5 a person.
Absolutely. That's why I'm thinking that premium access. It just depends on how hot the actual.
Well, yeah. If it's something like a Marvel movie, because I know Black Widow's doing it, that's worth it.
My bad. Yeah, well, there's a lot of people out here, so we got a lot of echo. We don't have acoustic in the living room, so it's cool.
What happened?
No, no, calm, baby. You know, shouts out. You know, to y'all.
Anyway, so like I was saying, Black Widow's doing it. That's when I think it will be worth $30 because you know Marvel movie, you know it's gonna be action packed, you know it's gonna have a lot of things. It goes with the whole Marvel universe, which you know everyone has watched. So that's worth $30, things like that. So they have if they stick with you know the new Star Wars, they're not making the new Star Wars. The next Marvel.
They might make a new Star Wars. There's no another saga. We already dealing with the Mandalorian issue. So after that, maybe.
I know they're making TV shows. Lots of TV shows.
Yeah.
I know that. They just no movie was announced for Star Wars. But there's a lot of Marvel movies coming out. The new what's that one? The one with Shang Chow or something like that. It's the one that comes out after Black Widow. I forgot the name of that movie. I can't think of it right now. But whatever, that movie, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know the name of it though.
But it comes out in September. That might be one that's worth also $30. Something like that.
That's something brand new though.
That's part of the universe though. That's the thing. It's part of the whole universe. You know the people from the other movies are going to be in this movie. You know that.
Yeah. The Doctor Strange one?
Not all of them, but you know they're going.
No, but that Doctor Strange
Well,
one.
Wanda's going to be on. Have you watched WandaVision yet? Okay, well, they can she, from what I'm hearing, she's going to be in there.
Dude. The WandaVision was something that like,
Oh, I love that show.
it looked odd to watch, but it was so great and it opened the door to Doctor Strange movie. And that Doctor Strange will be the $30 premium, and it's going to tie everything. It's going to tie everything in for multiverse, and it expands enough that everything after Doctor Strange movie is going to make sense. Like Loki. Loki's one is going to be dangerous.
Oh, that's in June. I can't wait for that one. I'm excited for that.
That Loki one is because he's going to dive into, and then when he dives into somewhere near Wanda, in that timeline, it's like, it's good. I want to see what they do. But since we're talking about Disney Plus, and what do you think about the season finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I am episode 4. I didn't watch the
I don't
last
want to
2.
ruin it.
Don't ruin it. I'm just saying. Just tell me how
This is
you
how I feel about it.
feel about that.
I love the way it ended. It ended really good. It's leaving it open for other TV shows.
Yeah, because a lot of people said that they didn't like it. Obviously, they hated that it was too short.
It's 50 minutes, so yeah, it's a little bit on the short.
Yeah, the first one was WandaVision, and that was what, 9 episodes. We're like, all right.
That was 9 episodes.
It was only like 30 minutes each, except for like the last few episodes. It was like
30.
Oh, so if you're trying to do math,
so
it doesn't make sense.
But yeah, it's like, I personally liked it. It had a great mix of action, a great mix of drama, had some nice little surprises, which of course I won't say anything, but it had some nice little surprises. Like, I loved it personally. It was great. I liked it.
Oh, and again, shouts out to A. Lopez in the comments. Come through, man. You have the same mindset. Come through, you'll be a guest. We're trying to book people in May, so check that out.
We're trying to do our guests.
We're trying to branch off a little bit. Get some guests. We do have one person lined up, but he has a little tight schedule. We're going to get him in there. I won't say it until we promote it and drop it, so it's going to be great. But yeah, I need to finish the
WandaVision?
No, I finished.
Oh, you finished that. Sure. You gotta finish the Falcon.
But I got disappointed because I didn't realize it was a season for that. Again, I was fixed.
It's 6 episodes. It's
6 episodes. And I was, of course, with Wanda. I do watch Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
So I have that, and we watched a couple of series that averaged 10 episodes. So, and you know me, I don't watch TV like that.
I know.
Brian, you got a family going, you got some shots, things are interesting. Games is on one thing, but then when you got the movies, because sit, relax, and chill. But now they're diving into a lot of video game type of sitcoms, which Last of Us, aka Sony, with the Netflix partnership. You see how we tie in everything? So that's gonna be nuts too. So it looks like Sony with the Netflix partnership is gonna be a big deal.
Oh, I think
it doesn't sound like a big deal now, but Netflix is they're cheesing right now. They're really excited because by the end of 2021 and 2022, when The Last of Us comes out, they're gonna see a wave and an influx of viewers compared to Disney Plus. Disney's gonna have to do something. Because not to mention, is it confirmed? And I know you are the movie / TV episodic buff, so you are the guy. Is it confirmed that the Mandalorian actor Mando
is going to
be the Last of Us main?
It has been.
All right. I just want to make sure.
It has been.
Just want to make sure it's accurate.
It has been confirmed, so he's going to be in it. That's a huge thing.
Captain America 4 is in the works, starring Sam Wilson. Updated on our ticker. Look at us. Breaking without knowing that it's breaking news.
I love that.
What? I'm gonna let that ride one more time before I refresh it.
Well, yeah, don't. That's a ruiner. That's a ruiner. Like, it's a ruiner in the trust for you.
No, that's not okay. Well, I'm lost now. I don't know.
Okay, okay. Don't look at that.
Like I did one of the commenters, Lopez. I'm not gonna say your whole name. I don't want to. I know who you are. I'm not gonna throw in my name. He said Falcon Winter Soldier was a little dull. It was cool. But now I have I'm 2 episodes not in, so I need to figure out if it's actually dull or not.
Well, you gotta finish it. Don't just leave it hanging. That's stupid.
I know, but no. We got kids, and you know what I'm saying? He wanted to watch it, and we have opportunities where he was not doing his thing, and he went to bed, and we're like, oh, let's watch it. No, he's not here. Out of respect, I'll do it. You know. So we have that all set. So now, let's go and switch that up. We confirmed that Disney seems like they might be... Maybe 2022 is probably... Maybe 2022 is going to be a struggle.
They're still making so much money. So much money. They're fine. They're fine. They just want that Spider-Man badly. But they're fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, pretty much like what I'm trying to... say it's a really like I'm excited about that. But the next one I want to talk about is like a game that I'm super excited about. I'm sure you've got the thing powered up because I can't really see right now.
Of course, but
Tales of Arise.
Oh, you go. Okay.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, because you're gonna hit me to that. And actually, Mr. Sir Lopez. He's familiar.
Oh, he is?
He should be familiar. I hope. If you don't know, tell me in the comments because I don't know.
But yeah,
for
me personally, I'm super excited for this game because originally, I got into the Tales series back when it like first came out in the 90s. The first game I played was actually Tales of Destiny 2, which in Japan it was called Tales of Eternia, but in America it's called Tales of Destiny 2.
Yeah, that's confusing with me. Whole different names for whole different countries for the same damn game. Say that one more time for me.
Okay, so pretty much how it works was this Tales of Fantasia, which originally did not come out to America at all. It was a Japanese only title. It finally came out to America in 2006 on the Game Boy Advance.
What game again?
Tales of Fantasia.
Yeah, I remember that. That was because it was on Xbox 360.
Well, that's Vesperia. That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm ignorant
Oh,
of
trust me.
Japanese stuff.
So that was the first one, and then the second one the first one that came to America, but the second one in the thing is called Tales of Destiny. That was the first one that came to America, and that was on the PS1 that came out in '97 or '8, around one of these years. And then Tales of Destiny 2, which in Japan is called Tales of Eternia, because they're trying to because it was Tales of Destiny, Tales of Destiny 2 in America, because you know how America likes to do sequels.
Yeah.
But in the actual Japan, it wasn't a sequel. It was an alternate thing. Each of the games are its own separate games, except for a couple of spin-offs.
Kind of like a Final Fantasy-ish.
Its own separate games. But there are some things that are kind of linked at the end. It's a whole lore thing. It's very
Which is
very
cool.
good. But it's a whole
It's
lore.
like, alright, so it's like if Final Fantasy 17 came out, but it included something that tied into 2, 4, 6, 8.
Good. Okay, you understand. Yeah. That's good. So pretty much the last main title of Tales was Tales of Vesperia, which came out in 2016. And we have not had a Tales game since then. A couple of years after that, Tales of Arise was announced. They showed like a little teaser thing. It was nothing much. And originally, they kept saying, when's it coming out, show little gameplay here and there, little trailers and stuff. And it was originally supposed to come out in 2020.
Mic closer, because if there's an echo there, you can they'll muffle that echo with the You need to go.
Oh, 20, originally it's supposed to come out in 2020. But then, of course, you know what happened last year? So COVID happened, and it kind of got things delayed, and it pretty much was delayed indefinitely. They could not have a title.
When you hear indefinitely, that means 99.98% it is canceled, denied.
And that's what scared me, because I was like, I actually wanted to. It's been 5 years since a Tales game. Like, what the heck is happening? So then, literally, a couple of days ago, they released the release trailer of the game, along with a gameplay trailer right after. Got me so excited. The game is literally a Tales game, but like way upgraded in the graphics. It's the first Tales game being made on the Unreal 4 engine. So this is the first Tales game doing that. So this is awesome that they're doing that. They're using that. The battle system looks great. It looks like it's a more upgraded version of the thing. The only thing I'm a little worried about, this is one of like the main things I love Tales about, is what they call skits. Pretty much is every time you like a main part of the story happens, they have these little skits, which is kind of like little anime little blurbs, where they're talking to each other, and that's kind of like how they do like little funny stories and stuff like that.
So like an interlude of
kind of like that,
like side mission.
I wouldn't say it's a side mission. It's kind of like side conversations and things like that. Tales is known for that. Tales has been doing that since the beginning. They didn't show any in the trailer, and that's what got me and my friends a little worried. We're hoping that's not the case. Maybe they just didn't show in the trailer or show it actually.
So they want skits.
I want them, yes. My friends do. Like, a lot of my friends who are Tales fans love that, because it fleshes out the character. And most of the time, the skits are hilarious.
Okay, so that's cool.
So it's like a lot of banter. It's comic release banter. It's all that type of stuff, which I love. And like I said, these games, they mix action with role-playing. So it's like, they change the screen like a role-playing game. You know how you change the screen to fight the enemies and stuff? But you can control the character and fight them like actual, hack and slash type of games.
Okay. So Sophia, you want to say hi?
So it's awesome that I'm excited for it. So they released the trailer, and it's coming out September 10th. And the other thing that's going to be of this year, 2021.
All right.
And what's awesome too is originally it was supposed to come out for the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Now, since they had a little time to cook, it's also coming out for the PS5 and the Series X too. So now it's going to come out.
Have that time to marinate.
Exactly. So now it's coming out for the
Just
next
like what happened with Final Fantasy 7. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
It was shown as a beautiful literally the same thing on PS. Was it on the PS3?
It was PS3.
It was on PS3.
Remember, originally it was a 2006. It was a tech demo. It wasn't even a game. It was a tech demo to show how the PS3 graphics look. That's what it was. It wasn't even meant to be a game. It wasn't meant to be a game. You wanted it to be a game. But then, of course, they showed the trailer again in 2014, which that's when you like, I cried. I did. And that was in 2014.
Dude, when that shit, I just remember that. I don't want to swear like that, but dude, what was that?
The music.
Which one was it?
It was the beginning, because remember, it was the beginning scene with Eris, and then the train. Yeah, exactly. And that's where we knew, and then we saw the graphics, we were like, we just went crazy. We literally all went crazy that day.
Shouts out to BBJ, man.
We all went crazy that day.
He's one of our guests, I hope. Actually, you know what? He comes through this next week. I forgot. I didn't tell you. He comes through this week. And now as a guest, he's coming through, chill, and then he's gonna be out. So he's gonna be here.
Okay, but anyway,
we were all caught off guard because 1997 was a good year when it came to video games, especially for me to understand.
Well, that's what made you
storyline type to understand role playing. Because you play Cyber Frontier, you play Chrono Trigger, you played all this. Now I didn't have the patience. I just wanted to go outside. Play baseball, not baseball, like kickball, and just run and do stupid stuff outside, and then play a game real quick. Tekken.
Honestly, though, it's kind of a little tangent, but I'm kind of curious. Well, what with Final Fantasy VII, because it was never a game that you actually played, that made you love it? Like, what was it that made you love it like that?
The sheer storyline and how cold he kind of was as a character.
Oh, Cloud.
Like he wasn't like,
let's do it. Yeah, because a lot of characters are like,
the way he was carried out spoke to me more, and I'm just like, I would do the same exact thing. And now, for those of you who don't know, and I'm not bullshitting. I am not bullshitting. I'm not bullshitting when I'm telling you this. Final Fantasy VII, 1997. You get the instruction booklet. For those that are diving into this, searching and looking through, okay? That's what's called an instruction booklet. You get a booklet and it speaks on the details, and then you go from there. Music, they had a booklet, they had photos of, Cisco, modeling, right? And they give you the descriptions and sometimes the lyrics of the songs. So with Final Fantasy VII, not bullshit. Look it up in Google. Okay? Break it down. Cloud's birthday is on the same birthday as mine.
And Sid for me. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so say it down.
Sid has the same birthday as mine too. But it's just like, I just always thought it was hilarious how our favorite characters in the game.
Not to mention, and it's odd, right? In 1997, I lived in one old address, didn't meet this person. Okay, I didn't meet this individual until 1998. So a year after we purchased this product, the same character that had his birthday, he ended up loving that character. Shouts out to the Ranger, and that was Vincent. And the instruction booklet, they had all the birthdays. Odd as hell.
It was odd.
And so when that happened, it just automatically was like, I had to love the game.
And of course, the story kept gripping you in.
Yeah, and it was very, his attitude drove me to play more. And then, of course, I'm the type of guy, I look to Lewis and I say, hey, help me, what do I do here? And then he'll just tell me what to do, but won't do it for me. I wasn't that type. Like, he'll just tell me what to do, and then I'll go and I read, and I'm okay, and I do it. And then I continue. And then from there, we've gotten more seasoned with gameplay. So we ended up learning more strategy guides. Okay, for those that are, again, brand new.
We had a bunch of those back in the day.
Strategy guides are pretty much the YouTube currently for video games. And what it is a big, huge booklet that sold for $15 on average at GameStop or Walmart, whatever, that showed not cheat codes, but like the strategy of how to beat and win and
You find all the
kind of
you find all like the quests, the side quests,
yes, the side
all
quests,
the
like-
extra creatures, all the extra summons.
Because me personally, I played the remake of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I didn't even believe I could get Bahamut and Leviathan. Leviathan. I was the same when I called Sephiroth Sephiroth. So don't blame me. But yes, so I didn't know I could get those two summons and the Chocobo mobile summon. So I didn't know that. I just got that Chocobo and called it a day. Because I thought it looked so linear that I just did it and called it a day.
But there was some side things.
But there was some side things I
things.
So I'm like, okay, that's. I have to do my thing. Because when I found out that there was more secrets, once we got older, we found more secrets in Final Fantasy VII, the original game. I was about the life, and I will say, I was the person that did the glitch to get Knights of Around
Early.
But after I breeded my Chocobos. I breeded my Chocobos.
Yeah.
Okay? But I had.
That was a long process, the breeding.
That's why they did the little cheat code to get Knights of Around the original way. So in the Final Fantasy game, on the third disc, you have to breed Chocobos, and you get from a yellow to a white, and a white to
there was a green
to a green, and the green to a blue, and then the blue to a black, and the black to a gold. And if you did that, that gold could walk anywhere. Anywhere around the map.
And then the next round was in a random island, in a random cave, on an island.
So I breeded the Chocobos, got frustrated, found out that there was a way to glitch the game so you could kind of land with the high wind in the corner of it, and then you just automatically land on the cave and you go get that. Knights of Round was the strongest summon material to get in the game. So, starting from 1997 and playing the game, and I remember buying it at Sears, Dad bought it, we begged him, both of us. And you wasn't even like positive about it, but you knew it was going to be a good game, and I was like, let's do it.
Yeah, I remember we pre-ordered it, and we got a shirt. Remember that shirt we got?
Yep.
We lost a lot.
That's gone.
But we had that shirt because we got it at Sears.
Sears was $64.99.
Yep.
And we did that, and we played it, and I played it. And again, we played it enough, and I don't think I didn't beat it at that time. No, I think I did beat it.
No, you did. I know I beat it, and I know you did too.
And then we found more stuff to do with the game, so then it became
side quests, like, Ruby, Emerald,
I should have put the fucking picture of Final Fantasy because it went from there to
that's fine, I know.
So and from then on, I respected my bros video game taste.
Because those were the type of games I played. I always played.
Every time he'll walk up, he'll play Soccer Frontier, which came out recently. Did you get it?
Oh, yes, I did. I didn't get to play it yet, but I did buy it. And I'm excited.
On the Switch or the PS4?
I got a PS4 version because I like the Sony.
Soccer Frontier is a remaster that they reintroduced and came out with.
One of my favorite titles of all time on the PS1. I was obsessed with that game. I can't tell you how much I
Yeah, there was different characters playing different storylines.
It's one of the all-time. It came out in '98, so I was 11, yeah.
Being at that age and finding out all that.
At that time, I didn't complete everything 100% because I was still, I was 11. I just wanted to beat the game and did some little side quests that I got. Because at the time, I was subscribing to magazines which had little strategy guides.
My ex was playing Triple Play 97. I like how to do the home runs.
Back then, I always played RPGs in the weird game. The dancing games, the freaking games that are like popular in Japan but never sold well in America. I was the one who played those type of games.
GG Doris.
I remember that game.
That was the game that we both like mutually was like, let's do this.
Yeah, it was a side-scrolling game. It reminded me of like R-Types and stuff like that. We used to play that all the time. I remember that.
So, with, again, Final Fantasy 7, from then on, and then I respected the games that he played, and then it grew, and we'll still talk about it. So Final Fantasy 8, you played more than I did.
I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I didn't really like the 8 that much.
9 I wasn't a fan of.
But you played it.
I beat it. I beat it and played it, but I was not a fan of it. I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't. I tried. I could. 10 though.
Hold on, let's go back.
Okay.
It's funny because I showed mind you, my son, Gigi, right? Mm-hmm. I show him like the theme songs of the different Final Fantasies. So today he's been singing the original fight theme of Final Fantasy 7. Then we hit the girls learn Sephiroth theme, so we hit with that. And then he comes off, he's like, "Wow, I remember," and he knows it. He's like, I said, "Bye, remember?" He goes, "Dun, dun, What is that?
That is from 10.
10.
I
didn't even play it in front of him.
I think it's Jets.
Jets,
whatever.
Yeah. So he's playing that. I'm like, what? And then what he does, right? He's like, and he just got the Square Enix game that's free.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw him play
He's
that.
got it. He plays it up. Before he showed you the rhythm from it, he played it up. He's like, "Why, you hear this?" And it was the Final Fantasy fight theme song. I'm like,
you getting your kid into
I feel like a good. I feel accomplished. But he's learning to read more, so he's gonna see it. I want him to get into it.
I hope he can play those RPGs because I would love to show him all
He
these.
ain't got no patience though. I'll tell you what, he ain't got no patience.
Those are
Maybe this type of game will give him the patience. And thus far, he does seem like he's getting into it because he's learning to read. So. But yes, he shows the theme songs and he's getting into it. And that's another thing that really drove me too. Because the theme songs in the Final Fantasy VII game is still to this day notorious.
Still slaps.
And then when they did
Still
the Wii,
freaking slaps.
and then the Final Fantasy, I'm still rocking that in my car. The Final Fantasy original soundtrack and the new soundtrack, which again is 146 tracks.
That's a lot. But it's like all of it's good. It's like because Nobuya, yeah, that's not how I pronounce it. Nobuya, the one who composes the music. Yeah, I think it's like Nobuya. He does amazing music for all his like Final Fantasy games he's worked on. All his music has been amazing.
Yeah, and let's say some real quick. We're gonna go all the way back from the Returnal, because I know that you were trying to see if you can miss Returnal.
Yeah.
Lopes, bro, come on. I'm plugged when it comes to PS5. I got my PS5 and I got my bro the PS5. All you gotta do is, you know what I'm saying, hit me up on a message.
I'm excited about Returnal.
And as long as you say you have that option, you have the dough, I can get it to you. It'll be shipped to my crib. All you gotta do is come through and get it. That's it. Because I literally go, I refresh. Hold on, I'll show you. I refresh, I go, and as soon as they hit it, boom, done. Send you a picture, send you this, and then go from there. I offer that same service to everybody else. No, nothing extra, nothing. So, but Returnal, I don't know though. I don't know if I'm gonna be a fan of that.
I'm personally excited about that because it's a horror game. You know, I love my horror games.
Yeah, but it doesn't look PS5-ish.
Really? I think it does. I don't like. I'm not sure I'm gonna buy it first day. I'm not gonna be 100% sure. I'm not sure I'm gonna buy it right.
Well, we know that's not Cyberpunk.
Oh, did you hear about the situation with Cyberpunk? I heard
It is.
recently.
This is what we do.
Yeah. So, Cyberpunk recently released some information.
Don't dive too deep because we want to continue.
Yeah. Pretty much, they decided they released that thing that about 30 their refunds.
From the actual, not from the actual third-party stores.
They did it from their own self. They said that they only refunded 30K refunds out of the 13.7 million copies that were sold. 30K was
We
only
talking about the
refunds.
episode last year, how disrespectful it was to announce revenues. I wonder why. Because they didn't want to refund it to report those revenue numbers to make themselves.
They said that they lost 2.7 million in refunds. That's what they said.
That's what they wanted you to know.
It's more. I
You
know
know,
it's 100%. More. I know it's more. But I just wanted to throw that in there because I found that news. I saw that today. I was like, I want to add that in there.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know about Returnal.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to spend any money on that.
I definitely want to check it out.
Lopes, I mean, tell me how it is. But it does look cool, but I don't think it's like PS5.
It looks great, and I like the
I wonder what they're going to do with the controller, with the DualSense controller, though. That's great, because Deathloop would have been like crazy.
September of this year.
Hardworld, Soulstorm is pretty cool.
I know, I played it. I like it.
Yeah.
It's reminding me of the classic. Like,
See, Lopes, you're watching the bros that got the PS5 because of
that dude right there.
So hey, if you really need it, really want it, and as long as you got the dough, I can get it for you. And I'm telling you, my success rate is pristine. Look into the comments. Cloud with personality. He's very much an ass, but he's cold though. He's, hey, I'm about money. We're gonna do this. We'll go get it done.
Yeah,
He has no, not like he doesn't have feelings because he does, but you pay for a job. You're gonna do the job.
and I think that's what got you.
That's my personality. I'm like, look, I'm gonna clock in, I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna leave. I'm a kid, this and that, and the third, but my mission is gun ho. I'm gonna do it, and this is what we're gonna do.
He's always been like that. Until, of course, when you got more into the story. I mean.
But it's for games and life. Like, all right, we're gonna do this podcast. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Then we're gonna go ahead and do this. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. That's how Cloud was.
Yeah.
Yes, he got distracted in a couple things, but overall, he comes off as a dick. But he's great. And Game Facts to get tips too. Yes, Game Facts.
I remember that. I still do. Oh yeah, I use it sometimes too. There's some of the games that I play. It's like there's some like very detailed thing. I have to look at it just to get a refresh on it.
I remember that. That was one of those websites. Besides spending money, you can go on. That's like after the strategy guides were dwindling down. You go to an online site and they can check it out. Check it out for you.
Yeah, I remember
those.
I used to use that all the time.
So let's refresh my ticker real quick here, because now we understand Captain America 4.
So what do you want to?
Refresh it or choose another. Let's do Nintendo on this ticker. Because they had generic. I don't do my ticker. I don't do mine. I want to type mine personally. So if I do the regular RSS feed through one of the websites, it's just going to come up with like the top 5 non-gaming type of things. Alright, so let's okay, let's do give me a topic. I'll bring up that photo.
Let's see. Let's do. Sony reversing their decision.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Storefront. There you go.
Okay, so you want to talk about this?
Yeah.
I got things. I got things to say.
Okay. So I'll so for those who don't know, let's break down the actual. Let's break down
the story. I mean,
not even the history. Just in general, in general. Like, I'm not talking about like story-wise of the situation.
So,
Okay. For now, you're gonna go with your rant. I'm gonna speak on why this is kind of a big deal. When you get a game and you buy a game, within 3 or 4 years, the game won't be supported anymore. So those servers close, and the game is pretty much worthless. You go about doing your thing, trading it in, or just playing it offline. And one example, I think we used in episode 2 or 3, Halo 2, most popular multiplayer first-person shooting game on the Xbox platform. They're playing. It was for so many years. Then, 360 came out, nobody's messing with the Xbox, whatever. And they had to close the actual servers. For those that didn't want the servers closed, they had so much fun, stayed on the servers. In order for a server to close back then, I don't know if it changed now, you have to get rid of everybody on the server and then close it. So people just marinated there and just played some 24/7, whatever, Blood Gulch, Team Deathmatch, Slayer, Team Slayer, go from there. So when servers close, they close definitely. It is the same for storefronts. And by storefronts, we mean Epic Games, Valve, Steam, you know what I mean? PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and even Apple, which is the mobile platform, including Google Play. So instead of saying that the server is down, the game won't be supported because the firmware on the mobile device or the game is not popular on the console, they'll go and close the console. They'll close the servers on that item.
And it happens with certain games like Mag is an example, Evolve is another example.
Most recent and the most traumatizing one that happened so quick was Tetris. The agreement.
Oh yeah, that was on the Apple phones,
Yes, and the reason why I'm going to mention that is because, and again, because I know you want to vent on it, but I want to explain the severity of how messed up this is.
Oh yeah.
In which after this, we're going to dive into what I want to talk about.
Yes.
So, a store releases the digital content of a game, Tetris, free. You download it. And it's a license. A license is you kind of borrowing it. You're borrowing it. But then some of the games was you bought it and you buy it. Google Play either says buy. I think back in the day it said buy. So you buy it and you pay for it.
And you have it on your phone. It's yours. You bought it. Even though it's a license.
You own that app. But nobody knew that it was a license. A license is you are leasing, you're renting.
Yeah.
So with the EA situation, EA didn't meet an agreement with one of the media companies that owned the
Tetris.
Tetris. They didn't meet an agreement. So because they didn't meet an agreement, those that bought and spend money on that Tetris on mobile platforms were no longer. They all got removed.
You can no longer work.
Mind you, these things are the same price as buying a game.
And you can't download it anymore. And if you have it on the thing, you can't play it anymore.
You can't play it,
Even
and
if
you
you download
can't
it,
download
you
it
can't play
anymore.
it.
So it's gone from the cloud, gone from the server, and gone from existence, even though you bought it because they didn't meet an agreement.
I remember because I bought it actually. I did back in the day because I love Tetris. That's one of the type of games I like to play with a boy.
So that is the issue at hand is ownership. And yes, diving into the digital world, you're going to run to that. And it just sucks that everything is turning to digital and we are forced to understand that our money that we're putting on, we won't own. We only rent. So now goes to the PS3 and their storefront, PS3 and the PS Vita, correct?
Correct. So basically, I'll go into this. So back in late March, they announced that they were going to end the storefront of the PS3, the Vita, and the PSP. So they were going to stop the storefronts, meaning that you cannot do purchases over on the PS3, Vita, or PSP anymore. Meaning that they were going to get rid of a ton of digital games. Over 100 of them you cannot play anywhere else but digitally because there's no physical releases of them. A bunch of games that are like PS1 titles that are like selling for like $5 or $6 on the PlayStation or $10. Where they're selling the physical copies for like over $100 as PS1 games are old titles. And for example, Sudoku 2, that game sells for $250 plus. So if you want to be able to get the game physically, the only way you was only to play that game is to buy it physically, or you could buy it for like $10 on PlayStation 3 on the App Store. Now, originally they were going to cancel it. They were going to stop it because they said it was no one was using it really, so they were going to stop it. Now they reversed their decision this week, saying that Sony made a mistake. They are sorry that they do that. They understand. They didn't understand like how popular it was and everything. So they're still going to get rid of the PSP store, which is understandable. No one really uses that. People now use Vita now instead of
The only
PSP.
time I use PS Vita is the Vita system is remote play.
Exactly.
Right?
So pretty much they're going to keep the PS3 and the Vita storefronts for the upcoming future. They didn't give it a date or anything like that. He said for the upcoming future. So who knows if they might later they decide to do it again after when so much people are there, because everyone was pissed. Like there were YouTube videos of people recommending what games to buy to like make sure you buy these games before they leave and everything like that. It was like a lot of people were angry about it. So I'm actually really happy that they're actually keeping it because, like I was saying in the last video when I talked about this, keeping these games is very important. Like for like preservation of the games is very important because back in the day, music, movies, they did not keep a good record of those. So there are like lots of lost medias of like old movies, old songs, old like things are either missing parts of the movie or just missing the movie
Got the PS3,
completely.
Outlandish, aka you probably his government blew it, but I said it, but Outlandish.
Yeah.
He still has the 80 gigabyte backwards compatible PlayStation.
I still have it, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So my thing is, there was so much movies that were lost, media lost. I don't want that to happen with games. There's already some games that fall into that. With the Wii channel, they got rid of the eShop back then a couple of years ago. They lost some special WiiWare titles that never came out anywhere. That's already been lost. I was pissed off about that when that happened with the Wii. I was hoping when they announced it, I was like, oh my god, they're doing it again. Like, we can't do this. We need to find a
to preserve these games, these digital-only
two
games.
games that never had a physical release or never been released outside of its home. It's like, we need to figure out a way to do this because I understand digital is the future. I know it is. I have to be stubborn. But I've always been a
And I get it. It's convenient to get a physical copy, the digital copy versus physical, but I want to go to GameStop to get a physical copy.
I personally
But then I have the PS5, and I think I am one of those owners of the PS5. Okay, I don't want to get you off, but when you put a disc in the PS5, how does it sound?
It sounds like a regular PlayStation, I guess. I don't know.
What do you mean, like?
I guess
I can hear the fan go in.
And then it goes away.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong because that's what happens to me. As soon as it knows it's running the game, start
It's in
and
silence.
then it stops.
Yeah.
And then it runs the game.
Yeah.
So I think on startup.
Yeah, so pretty much that's how I feel. I understand digital, but if you're going to make a digital-free future, you have to safeguard yourself. You have to be able to have a contingency plan on how to keep these games not to be lost in the digital forever. You need to be able to keep it like a museum. Keep it somewhere that they will always have access to it.
Don't allow your behind-the-scenes agreements to trickle down to the consumer. It's one thing if taxes are raised and you have to translate that cost to the consumer. That's one thing. But when a consumer purchases a product that says buy and you bought it, and you know it's funny, in the argument they could say that it's a license, but like if it's a license and you own and you're renting it, just because it's a behind-the-scenes deal that you couldn't meet, we lose the ability to use that app. I think we should be able to utilize that app still, even if they don't meet an agreement.
Or at least find a way to like preserve it so it's not lost for the rest of life.
Again, things like Silent Hill. We can talk about Silent Hill. On PT. Yeah, that was the same type of issue.
Yeah.
They had behind the scenes, they didn't meet an agreement. There was a huge fallout, and then it literally got rid of the demo. And then those that had the demo,
I still have it on my PS4.
Say that one more time. Look at the camera.
I still have my PT demo on my PS4.
Get it. Like, that's rare. I swear you could sell that on eBay for like $3,000.
Probably can, but my PS3 is what I mean. PS4 is running like.
I mean, now you value that to $500. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's pristine.
Let's be real. It's not. I'm not selling it.
They would buy it off the strength of the Silent Hill PT. I'm just going to say that. But like, again, it's because the fallout behind the scenes is the reason why PT doesn't even exist, nor you can download it. And then if you download it, it's safe, but you can't get it anywhere else. It is not in the cloud, even if you bought it or downloaded it in your library.
Exactly.
Crazy.
But yeah, so it was reversed this week, which I was happy about. Jim Ryan, which I know you know who Jim Ryan is. He's the one who announced it on the blog.
You know what? And good.
He said it.
Because here's the thing.
He said it actually.
I personally didn't care. I just thought it was more infrastructure.
So with people I know,
But Outlandish was sensitive.
Very.
You get a lot more games than I do, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of titles than I do. I go by the same yearly refresh, call it a mind game or mind, we call it brainwash. It's fine. My friends play it. It's fine.
Oh, Call of Duty.
But then there's other games. But see, here's the thing. Again, shouts out to Video Rager. He plays different games as well with his bros and his kids. So he plays a lot of different ones. And the same thing I'm now diving into. Instead of playing just Call of Duty Cold War, I dive into Detroit.
Which I'm happy that you're doing that. I'm happy that
Final Fantasy 7, I'm waiting to
you're doing what I'm doing. You're doing what I'm doing.
But it makes better sense for the PlayStation 5, and now the wife and me are trying to complete Last of Us. And then we have Horizon, which I still need to beat. I want to beat Horizon. But we got Horizon because she loves the story. I'm playing it. Last of Us, we'll both kind of hand off the controller. Oddworld, that is obviously a nice 2D I kind of explained it to her about how she wants to dive in and play, but what she does like is Ori. That's a good game. Shout out to Xbox for that. That's a good one. But she said that she could beat that game, no problem. No problem. I'm just looking at the visuals.
It's gorgeous to look at. You're looking at a gorgeous animation, like a Japanese animation.
So she would play that, and she needs to beat that. I need to beat Horizon. So there's a lot of games that we need to complete.
But I'm glad that you're able to.
But we have variety.
Yeah.
But you buy, and mind you, and I don't know if you know this, but they gave you over there pulled out one of the games that you left, which is Final Fantasy Type 0. That's here. And he tried to play that. I'm like, you're probably not gonna understand that. But that game's like a rail shooter, right? Kinda.
It's not really a rail shooter. It's kind of like an action-ish RPG.
Yeah.
It's not really RPG. It's more of an action.
Not Final Fantasy 13. Not Final Fantasy.
No. It's its own type of game.
Yeah. All right. We seen it, and I'm like, oh, okay. And you can try, but nah, you're probably not.
It's not an easy game to get. It took me a while to understand.
Yeah, because you're going from storyline Final Fantasy, your heart, and then you're like, oh, really?
It took me a while to get. I got used to it, but it took me a while.
So this PS3, PS Vita closure hit different.
Definitely did.
But for me, understanding that they actually listened to the people and said, we're not going to get rid of it.
They did. That's what I love about it.
Which I'm glad, because why? If they were quick to reverse it, then why would you want to remove it?
That's what I'm wondering too. Like, when I first heard it, I was pissed. But I was thinking maybe they couldn't afford the service space or whatever like that. Maybe it was costing them a lot of money.
Yeah, because that's
why I
what
was
you see.
thinking.
When you hear that type of news, you're like, they have to save infrastructure. They have to
Exactly. Because now they were focusing on PS4 and 5. So why are they going to focus on 3 and 5?
Shouts out to Lopes, by the way. He states, I just started Horizon. So far, it's awesome. It is awesome. It is awesome. And you, sir, and if I see my finger, you, sir, need to try it. It's a really good game. It's a really good game. But I want to beat it so then I can get hit to the new. And the wife's invested with the storyline. I'm like, all right, but then like,
I heard the story's really good.
it's good. But it's like you want to go stealth or go gun ho. And when you go gun ho, it's like.
If I play the game, I'll definitely do the stealth.
There's sawtooths, I think they're called, and I try to avoid them because they're just a pain in the ass to beat. But then, like, you kind of think, like, all right, strategy. I see 2 trees. Let me get my electric, and when you shoot the arrow, electric boom, and they go here, and electric here. So the 2 little sit down to trap, and so they have a fit because they're machines. So they walk around, and they go to a certain lane, and then they trip. Yeah, and then they break free. Now I'm lost. Now I'm like, what do I do? And then they nails me. I'm done. That's a good game. You should try it.
I will definitely. But yeah, so that's how I feel. But I'm glad that they reversed it. They listened to us, which is fantastic.
Oh, and yes, Lopes is correct. It's free.
Yeah, I know.
Just download it.
I did download. The funny thing is, I did download, but I'm playing another game right now that I want to finish first. Let me finish this game first, because I'm doing Trails of Cold Steel 2. Let me finish that. Then I'll play.
They can't hear you. No. Without, yeah. All right. So, anything else on PS3 storefront? Like,
So
they reversed it, so it's a
They
good
reversed
side.
it, so it's a good thing. I'm happy about it. I just haven't said my piece about it. But I did.
So hopefully by next year they won't do it.
I'm hoping they don't do it like at all unless they figure out how to preserve the ones that they were rid of in the first place.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
That's how it feels. So now we're going to tie this in to the Apple, and I'm going to show you the. Oh my God, is that huge? Oh.
Is it covering your whole face?
Dude, no, like. Huge. Hold on. That's huge. I'm glad it is. Oh, I don't even know if I can lift this. Oh my God, sorry guys. If I show you guys right now, you would think this is a glitch. I will say that when I go and I do this, I have to resize the image for every image I download. Yes, I have an hour to prepare. This thing literally hogged everything. All right, Apple. And all it was just the Apple symbol that says iPhone. Like it was just obnoxiously huge. So, of course, if you follow what we were just talking about how the digital fronts could be shut down and all the things you have bought will be no longer due to licensing and not physical. And you know, sometimes games could become just digital, not physical, which sucks. But the reason why I bring this up is they just lost an injunction. And I have the actual article, I think I haven't read it yet. They just lost an injunction. Oh no, I'm just on my computer. Oh no. Okay. By memory. Got it. Didn't take that long. Apple just lost an injunction 2 days ago of a person that is moving forward with a lawsuit that claims that you don't own any ownership even if you use iTunes and you click the buy button. You know why it's funny? Why did Apple change the buy to get?
You noticed that too. They changed that, I think like 4 years ago, right?
Why did Apple change from buy to get?
I always thought that too because I was like, because they changed it like, what, 4 years ago, I think, right?
About that, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember because it was used to be buy. Then all of a sudden, randomly, it was like, yeah.
I think iTunes still says buy because it still means the same thing.
Really?
So
Because I see all my apps, it says get.
apps. Not iTunes, we buy music.
I never really buy
podcasts.
music.
Yeah. So because it trickles down to games in the App Store, and of course, what we're talking about in nature as far as gaming and licensing and purchasing and buying and physically owning. iTunes buy button is when you click the average consumer, they bought it. They own it. It's theirs, Dad, it's theirs, it's mine, right? And then when they come out, it doesn't exist anymore, they go, Dad, why is it not there in my new iPad that he got me? How is he going to explain that to his kid?
Exactly.
Because you bought it, it's yours, you bought it, you bought it, you clicked that I bought it, right?
Exactly.
So the injunction is, the judge is like, that's still vague for every average consumer, so we're not going to honor your injunction, we're going to move forward with this lawsuit. So now we're going to see what the hell's going to happen. And that's the reason why years ago, before this even happened, they changed the buy button to get. Because that legally says you can get it, but you don't own it because you never bought it.
You're getting it.
You didn't click the buy button. You just got it by clicking the get button.
Exactly.
It sucks to be this intricate when it comes to this terminology of these damn apps.
Seriously.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, this is against iTunes, but they changed it on the App Store to get. So iTunes has the buy button. I guess maybe they have get now. I don't know, but I have Apple Music, so I don't really get it. I have a subscription.
Yeah.
But the overall issue was, it was the perception that was left of those that bought it, assuming that they bought it, whereas if the firmware is no longer, or if the music publisher no longer has it anymore, they don't have it. Like, it's gone now. Like, it just disappeared. So if a publisher doesn't mess with Apple and goes to Spotify, all they catalog on the Apple goes to Spotify. If you bought it on iTunes, you don't have it.
Exactly.
But I spent $20 on an album.
Why don't I
Why
have it?
don't I have it?
Why don't I have it?
Why don't I have it?
So
now they lost that injunction. So again, it was a good segue from the PS3 and the storefront, the services, and all that jazz to go right to Apple, because Apple again is diving into the gaming from the Apple Arcade and the practices of the digital front of how an average consumer can get something and not own it, assuming that they own it.
Yeah.
And we're always gonna run into an argument, and it's gonna suck until we have an agreement, or maybe they're gonna price it up. Subscription, get it, or buy it, but it'll all be different tiers. Enough that you don't buy the actual product, you'll just get the product, or go with the subscription. That's where I think they're gonna go with, and it's just crazy. Shout out in the comments when you're getting active. Again, keep active, sharing is caring. But yes, you are damn large corporations. Damn them. They're legally yes to buy. It's absolutely terrible. It's terrible because like we are there. We are the generation that sees the transition. All these new breeds, they just think that I approve a purchase. They think that they bought it. They didn't. It's just a license that I got within a subscription that I purchased. And then if I don't pay the subscription, then I got no games that I purchased. And if I get it, then the company ends up not being associated with Apple anymore. Once it's with Spotify, I get purchased by Xbox. We move from Xbox from the Apple Store to go to the Xbox Marketplace. And now it means my son's gonna be like, why is my game that in there? And I'm like, well, I can't tell you nothing. But Microsoft did it. Who's Microsoft?
How do you explain all that?
How do you explain that to a 6-year-old? 7, 8, 9-year-old. How do you explain that?
Well, once they get older, they'll understand, hopefully. but yeah, at 6 years old, no, you don't.
How can you explain such a mind-numbing situation that corporations do on a daily basis?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the merger from physical to digital. That's all it is.
Hit me with
Next topic. I'll pull up the pick. What's your next topic? What we got?
Let's do the Oculus next.
Okay.
Because there's only a couple of things I want to talk about on this one, but one is kind of long because it's one that showed most of that on.
Explain what Oculus is for those that are diving in.
So, Oculus, the Oculus Quest 2,
Owned by Facebook, by the way.
is a VR headset. The Oculus Quest is actually a headset that you don't have to connect to a computer. You can in order to play more of the powerful stuff, but for some of the not so powerful games, you can just play it right off the thing. You just have a battery pack and that's it. Boom, bam. You can play it on a good charge. It lasts about 2 hours. It's great. You can add a battery pack to make it last longer. Like, I love it. It was a lot of fun. I never got into VR like this, but my friends all pretty much had it.
Yeah, because I was like, you don't look like the VR type. And I'm the type to go to VR, and then I kind of like leaned out.
I'm not, but my friends were getting it. And I was
know
like,
he wants to be in that world forever. He wants to be Iron Man forever. He wants to play Beat Saber forever.
yeah, the thing is, I never really got into it, but then my friends convinced me to get into it, and I started playing, the simple games like the mini golf, then of course Beat Saber, and then I'm like, okay, I'm actually starting to get into this. It's like, okay, so maybe I could use this, like, it's not gonna be, of course, my main play game, like system to play on, but it's good to play with friends. Now, they actually had a little conference thing, like a little direct, I guess you could call it. It was about 25 minutes, and they showed a lot of games that already was on there, but they showed little DLCs, like a game called Pistol, where they have like an extra DLC where it takes place in the Wild West, kind of like Wild West futuristic type of thing. It's a shooter game, kind of like a shooter type of game. There's also another one called Lone Echo, which is like a space sci-fi type of game, which is like you're actually in space and stuff like that, so actually it's really cool.
That's cool.
That comes out in the summer. But now, the main one I wanted, and there's another game called Crazy Snowboard by the same makers who did 1080 Snowboarding. Remember that game, Tony? 1080 Snowboarding? Remember that for the N64?
Yeah.
They made one. They made a snowboarding game on VR. So now you get to do the snowboarding, like all the moves, the stunts, and all that on VR.
How?
And for the trailer, it looks pretty cool how they're doing that. I don't know how exactly, but from what I saw in the trailer, I was like,
Jumping?
I don't know if you'll be jumping. I don't know if you'll be doing the stunts and things, but it looks cool though.
They're trying to get a lot of YouTube videos and they're messing it all up.
I just like the way it looks, but the one thing I want to talk mainly about is they announced that Resident Evil 4 is going to be on the VR Quest 2. Resident Evil 4, for the people who may not know, is in my opinion, one of the best Resident Evil games that came out. It originally came out on the GameCube, and now it's literally on every system you can think about. It's on the Wii, it's on the PS2, PS3, PS4. I think they're going to probably release one on the PS5, I'm sure. The Wii, the GameCube, the Switch, it's literally on everything. Even on phones, I think it's on. And now, I'm not sure if it's on phones or not, but now it's going to be on the Quest 2. And they kind of revamped it, changed it up, so now, instead of the third person, how it was in the games, it's first person. So you're Leon. Leon, you see what Leon sees. And the way that they have everything, getting the weapons, you could just grab it with the hands and stuff like that. Getting the bullets, the ammunition and stuff like that, you could just grab it with your hand. And you could dual wield weapons, which in the actual game you couldn't, but in the thing you can.
Oh, nice.
And it'll actually let you, cock the shotgun, cock the gun, make it like it's actually realistic. And then, so pretty much, it's going to be the same exact game, but it's going to be in first person. So they have all the same exact scenes, all the same exact enemies, and of course, they're going to make the game more creepier with, sounds and stuff like that. And,
I'm still not cool with that, man.
It's a Resident Evil game
and
VR. That's what's scary too, because I hear all those things. Even though I know what's happening, because I played the game so much time. But
it's the fact that you're doing it in a scary environment.
Exactly. It's like the sounds
Involuntarily putting it on and going, I'm gonna shoot myself.
And they upped the graphics a little bit, so it made it look a little prettier and stuff like that. It looks fantastic. I'm excited for this. They didn't give an exact release date on the game yet. It's going to come out next year. It says it's going to come out this year, but later this year. But I'm excited about this game that I definitely want to play that game so much. It's so I just want to be able to play this game. So I'm actually pretty excited about that. And there's a couple of other games. I Expected to Die has a sequel now, which will be coming out later this year. And then the way that they ended it, which actually seems pretty cool, they make it a new Walking Dead game, Walking Dead of the Sinners. It's a new expansion pack for the game called Aftershock. Looks pretty cool. It's takes place in the Walking Dead world, and it's a first-person shooter playing against fighting zombies and all that. I just like the whole aspect of doing that with the whole VR thing. That's why
VR goes to the whole other.
And it actually comes out in May 20th on the Walking Dead one, which is good. They haven't announced, like I said, Resident Evil. They haven't announced one. It's gonna be this year. That's all I said.
Hopefully this year.
I'm hoping it's just there's gonna be no cancellation. I'm buying that game first day. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that because, like I said, I've been getting into VR lately, and I'm really, really excited with the Resident Evil 4. Especially with last week that we was talking about the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil. So this week I wanted to make sure I add that because that's where they have this conference, mainly for Resident Evil 4. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's gonna it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Now with the again, I have the VR. I know those states that you had the VR. You got rid of it. Don't get rid of it. No, get rid of it. There's a lot of different experiences with the VR.
Yeah, like I said, I never really got into it before. I never did, but my friends were all into it. I was like, you know what? F it.
Yeah, and then I got it, and then I kind of like leaned off it, but then there's a lot of other super hot. That was the one.
Oh, that's a fun one. Yeah, super hot. That's also on the
Moss.
on the
That's
Quest.
good.
Moss,
Good.
it's on the Quest too.
And Beat Saber, which is like Stepmania in the future for us. You know how Stepmania was with the arrows on the PC. Now you got
It gives a nice workout too. Beat Saber gives a nice workout.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so hey, there's a lot of experience for the VR. But for me, I would totally get those, and there's many others. But Resident Evil was scary. Like I
You don't do really scary.
I want to, but I don't.
You don't do
She's like, yeah, I can do it. And if you put that on, and they go, oh hell no.
Be a
They
little
go,
baby.
oh, no. And I'm a little baby. I die. That's terrible. I don't want to die in front of all my peers.
It is fun though. Like, I'm excited. I know I'm gonna be scared. I know I am, but I'm still gonna play because I like being scared.
Let's talk about which you have more news on it than I do.
Which one?
You gotta tell me how this would affect it. It is Blizzard Jeff.
Oh yeah.
What's his face?
So Jeff Kaplan.
Kaplan.
So he leaving is leaving Blizzard.
Yeah, we know that. Why though? And what was he responsible for?
Overwatch. He did a lot of this. He did like some maps and stuff for World of Warcraft, but he was mainly responsible for Overwatch. So in the Overwatch community, he's huge, and I know a lot of people I know who play the game was in that community. So that's why, yeah, he left. He just decided.
No reason?
No reason. They didn't give any reason. He's leaving.
Did they get a market hit from it?
No. Basically, they're already having a person replacing him, Aaron Keller. He's going to be replacing him. He's been working for the company for about 14 years.
Oh, all right.
So, but yeah, he's leaving. He's not working. He's not working for Blizzard anymore. And it's just like, as soon as I heard this, I was like, wow. I remember because he was like everywhere. He was like a huge meme in the whole like Overwatch world. I'm not too much into Overwatch, so I'm not the whole thing. But I know he was like a meme in that whole like thing like that. And of course, he's like the one who made it. He's the one who was like promoting it. He was the one who was like so excited for it.
I wasn't
And he was
really
working on like. Oh, he's also working. He was working on Overwatch 2, which now he's running to Aaron now to be in charge. Because you know Overwatch 2, I don't know when the heck that's coming out. But yeah, it's just like
I feel that can be a E3 announcement next year.
I can see that. I can see that. Or maybe later this year.
Quote me. No. Next year. Little bit of prediction here. Overwatch 2 release date next year, spring, quarter 2.
But yeah, so yeah, he just decided to leave, and I was just like, okay. But yeah, and it's like we'll see how Aaron's gonna do. Because, you know, with Overwatch it's great as it was and got popular as it was thanks to Jeff. So we'll see how Aaron does. Maybe it could, you know, maybe 2 could be popular too. I don't know if it'll have the same level as 1, because 1 was huge. You know that. It was everywhere.
Yeah, and like I remember like we were debating on getting the game.
I actually bought it, but then I returned it because I was like, I never played it. Like the reason I bought it because I was going to do a cosplay.
How much you spend on it?
$30.
Oh, so you didn't buy it when it first came
No,
out?
I bought it. It was like on sale Black Friday.
Vinny Razor and
It was a
I.
Black Friday sale.
Well, he bought it, I think, for $40 when it was new, or I think he personally waited until it was $40 and then he
I
grabbed it.
bought it on Black Friday. It was on sale.
I didn't buy it. I wanted to ask his opinion on it because I felt that it was a bit gimmicky, but at the same time,
The only reason I bought it though was because I was going to play with my friends because I was going to cosplay a character from it.
well, I wish you did because you would have got familiar with the first shooting game. That would be great.
I would have.
And then we're like, hey, yo, drop it. Like, hey,
I know, I should have.
I don't even play Warzone like that. I play just the standard multiplayer Call of Duty. You know, that's my gig. I don't really mess with. I think the only Warzone type like battle royale is probably going to be Battlefield, and I cannot wait until that Battlefield gets announced. Oh Lord!
I'm assuming E3.
Oh yeah. Battlefield 6, whatever they're gonna.
It's being made by EA.
It's always been. And it's always been great.
I know. I'm not an EA fan.
I know, but as far as the company and the philosophy, I get it.
It's just.
But Battlefield is ridiculous.
I know. People who love Battlefield love Battlefield.
Battlefield 4, okay? Battlefield 1,
Hardline was bad.
It still looks damn good. And Hardline was kind of bad.
Yeah, Hardline was bad.
The way they presented it was great, but it was kind of bad.
So now we can talk about the whole the Discord thing, Microsoft.
Yes. Now we have an update on the Discord.
Yeah. No. This was for refresher. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Oh, was it last week? Was it last week or a couple of weeks ago?
I haven't even checked it. It
I
was.
think it was a couple of weeks ago. Well, anyway, so there was a rumor that Microsoft was in talks
Obnoxiously big freaking
they were in talks to buy Discord. And as you know, for the people who knows about Discord is a huge community-based, like being able to talk, be able to video chat, be able to voice chat, be able to do all that type of stuff. Has over 100 million people in it. It's huge. Actually, I have a double check. It's 100 million people using this.
It is huge. But it was announced this week that
It's huge. They cut the talks. No more talks. It's done. I guess they decided that they're not going to be selling now. That, in my opinion, I think they stopped because Discord thinks they're worth a lot more.
They're worth a lot more, so actually it's not that they think.
They know.
Based on the breakdown of the actual negotiations because they want to release an IPO because they feel like they're worth more than what they were offered. The question is, when you do an IPO, you know what you feel about an IPO? IPO is pretty much a company saying, I'm going to go public and I'm going to allow every average citizen and investor to invest in me so I can use their money to move up. And the more I move up, the more value goes up. Stocks.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
So for them to see $10 billion on the table, and Microsoft is a big company, and Microsoft offered $10 billion. Right?
Yeah.
And they said, okay, I don't want that now. I'm going to do me. And I'm going to say IPO, and they estimate, based on the previous talks, what they do an estimated value, how much they owe. It's more intricate, but I'm just trying to break it down as easy as pie.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
To just say, I was offered this, and I do this, and I do this, and that's that. So I think we are valued at this much. $80 a share. I'll laugh my ass off if it becomes $80 a share. Off the rip.
that would be pretty fun.
That would be hilarious. And if that's the case, then y'all need to spread the word because I'm totally accurate based on the download of the universe. I swear. So, based on that, I'm thinking they're going to open on the IPO at $80 a share. And at that point, whatever they do, it will grow. So whatever partnerships, whatever deals, or whatever community-based things they're tying into, raises their value. So now they're technically an own company. So then they can do a Microsoft partnership with Microsoft without their ownership, which can raise their
Just the last couple of months. Just the last couple of months, they raised $100 million. Discord. They're worth $7 billion right now.
and they'll offer 10, so $3 billion after. But can they make more? Can they make more?
Do you know how
they given $7 billion? You think they can make more? I think they can. I don't fucking know how, but they can. I guess it's popular.
Everyone uses Discord.
Shouts out in the chat. Let me know. Do you guys utilize Discord on a daily basis?
Everyone uses Discord. I know a lot of people use Discord.
I don't know, man. I know a couple of people use Discord, but not that heavy. But apparently it's been
Oh no, listen.
$10 billion off from Microsoft, and then a refusal of $10 billion to go IPO. I'm saying maybe a share.
We'll see. But yeah, I'm like,
But it's officially, it has been closed. It has been closed for the talks of Microsoft and Discord for the asking. But you don't know. Maybe they might be bought up by somebody else. You don't know.
we'll have to see.
But it does seem like their IPO is imminent. So we'll see how that's going to be.
Exactly.
So that was kind of brief. So we got that covered. So again, a lot of people do that, but when you go, you know, visit the B.o.P podcast, it kind of gives it to you in layman's terms. The raw, that's what we give it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the topics we got. So I'm the pick I have.
Yeah, one of the ones that kind of can't see you're in charge of everything. I can't see it.
Yeah, but this Pokemon event. Fossil music.
Oh, yes.
We're going to talk about that because...
Oh, there's another thing with Japan, too.
Well, let me break it down first. One, I seen this topic, and I'm like, why? They just shut down Super Mario Bros. Due to the rise of coronavirus. So...
Yeah, they opened
this.
They opened it March 18th, and then they closed because of the state of emergency.
And you know what's funny? How ignorant this is? I thought that'd been out there. I thought the Super Mario thing had been out there for like a couple of months.
No, they opened. No, because originally it was supposed to open in February, but got delayed because of that. And then they opened in March 18th, and then a month later they have to tomorrow they have to close officially. Well, until further
And they're
notice.
under the Osaka's under a state of emergency
Because of a state of emergency. That's why. Because all their cases are going up.
That's whack.
So now, with that out of the way, looks like in the summer they're actually going to be opening a Pokemon fossil museum, which is I think is a cute, awesome idea because they're going to basically show like the similarities of like real
fossils and real like fossils of like actual animals,
plants and all that, and how those were like the main like what do you call that? Muses of what created these Pokemon. Because some of these fossils
Are from actual...
some of these Pokemon from actual like fossils, like actual like look like fossils and stuff like that, which is actually pretty cool. So I think, in my opinion, I think it's an awesome way to teach like kids and stuff like that, like a fun way to teach them.
To integrate Pokemon to real life fossils.
Paleontology.
And then you're like, hey look, can you catch them? No, you can't catch them.
Yeah, it's paleontology. That's what.
You can catch them, PETA, you get you.
But yeah, so they're gonna start off in the summer. They're gonna open it up. Be able to fossil both dinosaurs and look at all the plants, fossil plants, insects, fishes, all that type of stuff. They're gonna kick off in the Mikasa City Museum. That's where they're gonna start there in Hokkaido. And then from July to September, and then they're gonna go into each different museums in Japan, like all over Japan, up until summer of 2023.
Oh.
So they're gonna keep doing like little tours in each of the museums
mini
in Japan.
tours.
In Japan, they're gonna focus on that. So I think that's pretty cool that they're doing that. Like I just love the fact that they kind of make paleontology kind of fun for the kids. Try to get them to learn about dinosaurs, get them to learn about fossils, get them to learn about all the stuff from like millions of years ago, but in a fun way. Which, I don't know, what do you think? I think it's awesome. I know you have kids, so that's what I say.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They can catch them.
But yeah, I think it was a pretty cool idea. I love it. Like, I was happy when I heard it.
Can't catch them, but you understand that the fossils do exist. The fossils are, back in the day, decayed species.
Millions and millions of years old, though, been extinct.
So to have the kids wrap their head around that and go, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then tying that with Pokemon.
Yeah, because like these Pokemons were based off these little fossil creatures.
Yep.
That's what I like about Pokemon too, right? Because it helps teach kids who may not be adverse to learning or trying to make learning a little more fun. That's how I see it.
Teaching kids to make sure you knock them out before killing you.
Jesus Christ.
Turn the fight.
You just have to do that dog, didn't you?
That's really down with Pokemon.
You're right. You gotta break it down. The franchise of Pokemon is to unlock the kids of the fossils and blah, blah, blah.
But the overall it's too Mewtwo.
Having too much fun here. All right, let's see what we got going on. What's another one? Oh no, we have one.
Oh,
We have one. Shouts out to Rainway.
oh yeah.
I messed with Rainway, and I'll speak on it the best I can, the best of my ability. And Lopes, if you're still watching, and on the chat, you understand that this is going to be, you probably already hip to it, but what Rainway is was a company that allowed you to go about, see how he's eating the hell out of that thing. Yeah. Got you, yeah. You enjoy that? You enjoy that? All right, well, my bad, I had to switch the camera. But anywho, Rainway is a company that pretty much allowed you to utilize a way to play your games on the PC anywhere. And those that have Android, you're probably able to because they don't have the gridlock box of Apple. They don't allow you to use LTE data, whatever. What Rainway allowed you to do is to play games on the PC and play it on your mobile iPad, anywhere, or even on your Android box TVs. So I was supposed to have an advertisement for them. Supposed to sponsor, but they're making bigger moves now. So I get it. I respect it. But they went ahead and they did this program where you would launch on your PC, whatever you have on your PC, you can beam it onto your phone, iPad, mobile device, on TVs. My Android TV, T-Vision, the hub, unfortunately, it does not have the functionality to get my DualShock 4 or DualShock P PlayStation controller on it. It just doesn't. It literally just crashes.
Oh, really?
So what I had to do was beam my Rainway Forza 7, beam it to my TV, and it worked flawlessly. Fantastic. Right? Then I connected the HDMI, I played from the PC to the TV, fine. But then I wanted to play Forza 7 on my internet connection into my master room, master bedroom. And that's obviously away, and I'm not going to bring the PC there. And it worked. Thing is, the hub on the T-Vision, which is pretty much an Android device that is small as a USB dongle, doesn't connect to the PS4. It doesn't connect to any gamepad on the Bluetooth. It just crashes. It says, oh, it's not connected. Then I have to shut everything off and put it back on again. It's super whack. It's stupid.
So then like, huh? So you didn't get it to work?
No, it still needs to have a firmware update for the actual hub itself. And it still doesn't work. But I still mess with Rainway when it comes to beaming it on my laptop. So if I had it, I could either play it or on the TV, whatnot. But here's the thing. Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass was my goal. My goal was, alright, I'm not going to use Steam, because then I have to buy new games. I'm going to play Game Pass. I'm going to play some Xbox games. So at first, it was kind of hard, because it was new. And then I had a workaround, and then they officially supported it. So they supported it, meaning I could play Gears 5 wirelessly on my TV. Awesome. Because I can connect my PlayStation controller to my TV, no problem. And I can't connect it to my hub. Whatever. But I did. Wirelessly. Fantastic. I played Marvel vs. Capcom on Game Pass via Rainway. So Rainway did help a lot. And it was and we were waiting on it to Switch to have it launch on Switch. So they did their thing. The thing is, recently they just announced a partnership with Microsoft.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To be the forefront of the streaming of Xbox Game Pass.
Really?
Apparently this whole news is saving the best for last.
That's
I feel like we're breaking it. Because they don't know, a lot of people weren't familiar with what Rainway was. It was like
I know you've been huge on Rainway for like a while now.
Absolutely.
It's been a good year now, haven't you?
A good year and a half, yeah. A lot of people don't realize it's like the third-party version of PlayStation Remote Play for anything on your PC.
So now Xbox is going to be working.
So then they just announced a partnership with Xbox that will, behind the scenes, be the infrastructure for their streaming services for Xbox. What the hell does that mean? They will use their infrastructure to seamlessly stream Xbox Game Pass games on PC and possibly through Xbox. Because with the Xbox Game Pass, you have to download your games on your PC. They try to figure out a way to stream it so then you don't have to hog the space, like PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now, you get the service and you play the game on your PC and on the PlayStation. That's another thing. PlayStation has that one up with Xbox. The PlayStation Now, you have it on your PC, but you stream it. You don't download the games.
The only thing is, internet is the issue.
It's always when it comes to cloud gaming, it's always an issue. Game Pass is always the issue. The thing is, the Game Pass currently you download the games, internet is not an issue.
Exactly.
With streaming, you have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Disney, you have, you know what I'm saying? So with technology moving up, the requirement of the bandwidth should go down, or at least the plans would be better enough to just have and purchase it. You should be fine.
Makes sense.
So Game Pass is finding out a way to actually stream versus download, which is great. PlayStation down. I always have the option to download or stream. I stream. So I have no damn space. Even on PlayStation 4, I don't have no space. I stream it. Why not? I stream it. Then it said if you download, you get 1080p, the highest resolution, download the content, fine. On a play to Vita or to play to have fun. That's it. But the fact that Rainway was chosen to be the back burner behind Microsoft's Project xCloud, which Project xCloud is the code name for the streaming of Game Pass, which they initiated with T-Mobile, so those that have Android devices only on T-Mobile can stream. Now they're trying to put it into the PC. And Rainway apparently is the perfect choice. So again, shout out to the Rainway, and they use Discord for their community. Hence, they were the ones I needed to do to troubleshoot to make sure my Game Pass games worked on my PC.
That makes sense. Okay.
It's a good gaming move that a lot of people don't realize.
I think that's a good move.
It's a heavy move.
Yeah.
That once Game Pass releases it, they're gonna say, "Oh, this works flawlessly." I wonder why. I wonder why.
That's
Again,
good.
shout out to Rainway. I've been messing with them since day one, so that was good. That's a good move.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome.
Oh man, he said, hold on. Lope says, anywhere. And Rainway, if you're talking about Rainway, it is on Apple. It's on Apple devices.
So there's no Android app?
There's an Android app. There is. If you're speaking on Rainway, it is on Apple. So yes, I was playing Gears 5 on my Apple device.
That's pretty cool.
And then I had my Morphe gamepad. It was a third-party gamepad that I utilized. So yes, I was playing Gears 5, an Xbox title on my iOS on clean data. Okay, clean data.
Does it look good? No choppiness?
No choppiness, no nothing.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
That's pretty cool.
As long as you have a good stellar connection, it's very promising. I've been wanting that with PlayStation since day one when they announced remote.
I was about to say, yeah, I know you did. I know you always used to do remote play. I don't know if you still do it nowadays, but I know you used to.
I don't because they don't allow LTE to be used. It's always Wi-Fi. I don't have access to Wi-Fi all the time when I'm out about work.
Yeah, there's no Wi-Fi all over work when you're driving around.
Yeah, when I'm driving around, if I'm charged, I'm going to be sitting there and I'm going to be playing it.
Yeah,
There's no Wi-Fi. Yeah, but there's no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And if there is, it's blocked. If I have LTE, which I pay the data for, why not?
Makes sense.
Rainway makes it possible only for games that you download on the PC. It's a PC standard application. But to have Game Pass on PC. So you know how bad I want a Destiny 2?
I know.
Destiny 2 on Game Pass on PC? So I can be on my phone playing Destiny 2 with all the expansions on LTE.
And you can play with people, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And now with 5G booming, come on.
5G is just coming out, so it's going to get popular. I know.
It's going to get popular. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. You know? But that's where I'm at, man. That's Rainway is again a sneak. It was one of those sometimes trying to get our food live. We do this all live, so
They have to kill flies. Peter can't talk about nothing. Yeah, but. Yeah, so what else? What else? Let's see some.
Well, I could get a quick one because this one I'm personally excited about. You know nothing about it, but I'm personally
Oh, well, damn. Yeah, I do. You don't know.
So, there's two games that never came out to America. It's called The Great Ace Attorney.
Oh, yes, that was on DS.
Yes, but these ones is called The Great Ace Attorney. These take place before those games. This is kind of like prequels to those games. They were originally just released in Japan. This year, July 27th, they're going to be releasing the first and the second game in a Chronicles edition. That's going to be released in America by Capcom, of course. It's called The Great Ace Attorney Adventures and The Great Ace Attorney Resolve. It'll be on the PS4, the Switch, and on Steam, July 27th. So I'm excited about that
game, though.
So pretty much, I don't know if you ever heard of like Ace.
It's actually the multiplayer, like
No, these are. No. This cases, you have to. You're a lawyer, so you're an attorney. Of course. So you have to figure out if the person is guilty or not guilty, and if you have like evidence of thing, you have to do what they said called objection, and then you have to give your clue on why you think that person is guilty or not guilty or anything like that. There's a bunch of different kind of cases, like murder cases, like all types of stuff. It's pretty cool, and what makes this game more popular too is it's very anime-esque. Like the style is very anime-esque, and like the characters are actually kind of funny. They actually have like personality and stuff like that. So what I was excited about this takes place before those games, so this is like the precursor, like the prequel. And it was a Japanese-only exclusive game. It came out back in like 2015 in Japan. So it's finally getting like kind of like remastered a little bit in a collection for America finally. So I'm excited about this because these were the only two Ace games, if I remember correctly, that were not released in America. And we're finally getting it. So I'm excited. So I'm definitely going to get that. I think that game, The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
And what's the systems?
It's coming up for the Switch, PS4, and Steam.
What about DS? Does that still exist 3DS?
No, they don't. They stopped making games on there a couple years ago. The Switch is Nintendo's both handheld and main console now. Yeah, a couple of years ago they stopped making DS games, so that's why it's coming up for the Switch.
Wow.
And for PS4 too, which is cool. I'll probably get it on the Switch because Ace Attorney games are usually Nintendo titles, and usually I think
when you get something like that, that's like it was already on it.
That's why I'm gonna stick with it.
You want to stick with that console?
If a game's already been on the PlayStation, I'm not gonna get it on the Switch. I'm gonna stick with the PlayStation. But if a game's been on the Switch, I'm gonna stick with the Switch version because that's just how it is.
Only time I personally make that transition is if I had a PS3, but then everybody has a 360, so they Call of Duty on the 360.
Oh, well that makes sense. I get that.
And as far as a first party title or something, and then switch over, I'm like,
just keep it the thing.
like if Horizon came out for Xbox.
Yeah, that's right. Like Horizon already came out for Steam.
Yeah, PC. Yeah,
PC. So it's like, no, I'm gonna stick with the Sony. I'm not gonna play with PC.
Even though you can look good, you can raise up your specs.
I'll stick with the Sony. PS5 makes it look perfect. So. Don't do that. Then you'll offend some PC race people.
One of my friends, he just built a PC. He said, I don't want a PS5 anymore. I built a PC. So, okay.
I want a PC, and I'm still have my PS5.
Yeah, I just, there's a lot of money that goes into it, you know?
I know. But the thing is, the way I see it is, I'm going to be using it a lot, and I'm also able to connect my VR to it so I can play even more games. Because if you connect to the PC, you're able to play the more powerful VR games.
Yep.
So I'm considering that in my purchase.
Which makes sense, because you got the product, you want to make sure you want to get the most value out of it.
Because I can play Half-Life Alexis yet, because you need a PC to do that.
What is it?
Half-Life Alex.
Oh, okay.
Alex, that's it. I don't know why I said Alex.
Offended everybody.
Alex. But you only can play that if you connect it to a PC. So I'm like, okay, that's one of my reasons why. There's a bunch of other games too, but that's one of them.
Cool. Anything else that we have here? Let me look up some new topics that just came out a couple of hours ago. Let's see here. I think we went over the most. This is the longest one.
Oh, so it's 9:30. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the longest running BoP podcast episode.
I just saw that. I thought it was 9:30. Wow.
Well, because we have those that are now not shy and on the comments.
Which I appreciate.
And we speak on it and we're diving in. That's what we want. We want to sit.
How are they getting views too? Like views?
Yeah, we gotta go. I had to refresh here and there, but it's not really real time. That quick.
A lot of people see it afterwards, which is fine.
What you need to do, and for those that are watching and browsing and not chatting but browsing, watch Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I need to
watch it.
I don't know.
I don't watch. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
I heard good things about it though.
Yeah. Go ahead and watch.
I'll probably, who knows? I'll probably check it out either tomorrow. I'll figure it out.
Go ahead and watch it.
What else I watch it? Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I don't think we have anything else as far as different news that are worth mentioning. I mean, the new Apple, the new keynote that they had.
Oh yeah. I figured you would know more than that about that. I mean, I saw some of the highlights, but it didn't really. Like, it's a new iPad Plus, whatever it's called. iPad Pro. That's what I'm thinking.
No, I don't think it was the iPad. It was the iMac in the different colors.
No, there was an iPad. Yeah.
I
I didn't watch it, but I saw some of the highlights.
All I know is there was a new color of the same phone.
Oh yeah, it's really cute though. That color is cute. I mean, I personally would not replace my phone because I like my phone, but I'm like, that's a cute color.
You get, I somebody would buy that purple, you'd be like, you know what, I mess with you.
I like that purple. like I saw that purple, like I have closed that shade of purple. I can match my phone, but okay. People know.
And then AirTags was another one that got announced.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Okay, so this is a tile. Okay. Tile's been out for years. It's like now you're gonna make your own Apple.
Well, yeah, it's because they wanted to have their own control of their.
I guess. As soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, so tile. I was like, okay, so tile.
I think we went over everything we needed to as far as this week's concerned. So next week we should get more news.
Hopefully it'll be a nice busy week. Like this week was actually pretty decent.
Surprisingly.
Surprising.
Because I didn't really think none of it, and then we looked at the topics and go, there's a lot to talk about. Alright, so again, we're going to close episode 7. Episode 7 is now the longest running episode that we've done. So that's cool. And you enjoy it with the comments. Again, keep going with the comments and we'll just go with it. We answer as best we can and we just dive into it. The topics, make sure you follow us, B.o.P, Twitter, Facebook, now TikTok, and I guess we have to meet 1,000 followers to go live.
So if you want to follow us on TikTok, please do
follow us on TikTok. BoP Gaming, we've got some videos there going. So
I've been creating some cute ones. So.
Yeah, I know.
The little boo boy.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. So again, make sure you tune into that. But again, BoP Gaming, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Check out the ticker at the bottom. You should follow, subscribe, hit the like button. TikTok, share is caring.